What's up guys, it's Rose Mulet, the only music critic cool enough to release their worst hit songs of the year list in mid-November. I'm just like that. Anyway, this video is going to be a little different, so I'm going to explain exactly what's going to happen right now. There's going to be two parts of this video. The first part is just the hits, the 10 worst songs that you've definitely heard that have been all over the place the last 12 months. The second part of this video is going to be the top 10 worst songs overall. These songs did not have to be hits, they're just the absolute worst, bottom of the barrel trash. Some you may have heard, some you may haven't. Stay tuned for that. It's gonna be something. Anyway, without further ado, let's get going. These are the top 10 worst hit songs of 2021. Okay, so before we start this list, I don't really have any honorable mentions with the exception of one song. And I just want to get this out of the way just to show you that everything I'm going to be talking about on this list is worse than this song. And I'm gonna play you a little snippet right now. So as you can see, that song, Baby Noises, all over the track. Not a fan, right? But it's not on this list. That's just to set the tone of what we're dealing with here. So now that we have that on the way, let's start with the actual list at number 10. There's been a plague of sorts looming for the past few years. And no, I'm not talking about the virus. You see, this plague is a barrage of these amateur cover songs of classic songs that just tend to ruin the song for everybody. There's a few examples of this. Just a little unwell. And a few more. Why do I go make things so complicated? Oh no, they don't stop there. Say my name. Ain't gotta say I love you just because I fucked you. With the lights out, is this dangerous? It gets worse. Bang, bang, na 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 na. Oh my god, think I'm in trouble. Gonna take a love to drive me away. The point is, I'm sick and tired of these cover songs. They lack originality, and luckily most of these never become hits, but some of them do. And honestly, it's just sad when there's so many talented artists who write original music who could get the recognition, but instead someone writes a mediocre cover to a classic song and everyone acts like it's this amazing thing. We didn't have just one of these in 2021, we had two. And quite frankly, I couldn't decide which one was worse, so I'm gonna tackle them one at a time. The first song is I'm gonna butcher that name because I know it's not pronounced Maneskin, but I want to pronounce it Maneskin. They're an Italian rock band who recently won the Eurovision Song Contest, which it's a contest that prides itself on showcasing original music, and it does not allow artists to release covers. So I find it deeply ironic that for this band to win the competition and have their worldwide smash following the fame that they've received from winning Eurovision be a cover of a classic song. It's just the most ironic thing ever. There's some good elements of what they do, like they do provide some kind of interesting spin on it. Then again, it literally is the exact same cover that they performed on Italy's X Factor in 2017. They changed absolutely nothing about it, and 4 years later we decided it was this big hit. The way that they adapted the song, like the verses and the chorus sound like two completely different songs. The transition between the verse and the chorus is just so bad and so awkward. I'm finding hard to hold my own. So that's Begging. The other cover that we have is this is a song that I did not know the original version to. Is that because I'm uncultured? Probably. But that doesn't make the new version good. It's a song that has no reason to exist. It's another song that I feel like they tried to do something interesting with it, but it just kind of doesn't work. Like a little snippet of it went viral on TikTok and I listened to the whole song and it was just hard to get through. This part at the end of the song, it's just so bad. You don't even have to try any longer. Do what you want to, girl, put your records on. Why is this all over the radio? I don't understand it. Why are we celebrating this? If I had to give one of these two songs the worst song, I'd probably go with Put Your Records On, just by like a smidge, so you can call that the official 10, but I have these songs tied. At number 9, we have The reason I have this song on the list is there's a thing in music that we like to call innovation, creativity, evolving, and this song does not do that. This song sounds like it was made in 1960, and hot take, when I'm listening to hit new songs in 2021, I want them to sound like they came out in 2021. And it's like, yeah, the song is classic. It's got that, old style instrumentation, but it's like he did this with Uptown Funk. He did this with Treasure. He did this with 24K Magic. He did this with Versace on the Floor. He did this with so many songs, and I'm sick of it. The dude needs to find something new. He has to make his own style. I don't know, he's just been taking styles from like the 80s and the 70s and the 90s with finesse. And I'm sick of this whole nostalgia wave that we're currently in, and I cannot wait for it to end. Like I said, the song itself is okay, but I can't stand it for that reason. It's not nearly as bad as Uptown Funk. Uptown Funk is what started this awful trend, and I hate that song with a burning passion. The song is tolerable, but it still makes the list for the concept and what it's doing and what it's encouraging in the music industry instead of genuine growth and evolution of music, which this is literally the exact opposite of. At number 8, we have 30 for 35. This song is not nearly as bad as her song 7 Rings from 2019, but this song is literally just a 69 joke. Means I want a 69 legit. And when that happened in Squid Game, we all universally agreed that it was awful. It was the worst part of the show.
What convinced you to bet so much on number 69?
Oh, it's such a beautiful number, 69.
Oh, you dirty dog.
It took away from everything that was amazing about it, but when Ariana Grande does it, it's totally fine. That whole album Positions was kind of underwhelming for me. Like, I like Ariana. I didn't need a lot of the songs on there. They were just kind of interesting. They were kind of out there.
I know all your favorite spots. You'll drink it just like water. I'ma leave it open like a door, come inside it. Got the night birds, yelling earthquake. Just give me them babies.
This song, I couldn't believe it when it was a single. It just does not feel single material. It's just like, haha, 69 joke, the song. She's capable of so much better. So knowing that, for her to put out something like this and to have it be this huge hit, it's kind of upsetting to me. At number 7, we have another artist who is capable of so much, right? She can actually sing when she tries and she puts effort into it, but recently she's devolved into this weird whispery tone.
I'm not your friend or anything, damn.
And she prides herself on making music at her bedroom when she has the capacity to make professional music in a studio. There's something outrageous about that, right? I think there's millions of independent artists who, if they had the ability to use professional production and professional sounding equipment, they would. But Billie, for whatever reason, just refuses to. And with that, her music continues to sound mediocre because of the technical lacks that it has. Yet people act like it's groundbreaking because it sounds different to all these other hit songs when they don't realize that there's literally millions of songs that have this garage feeling to it. Like, even the music video, like, she's a millionaire, she has millions and millions of dollars, and yet she thought it was cute that she just walks around a store and boom, that's the music video. The littlest effort possible, and it gets rewarded and praised by everyone. Not a fan of that. And obviously, the biggest sin of this song is it tries so hard to be bad guy. A song that is just superior to this. That whole album was just underwhelming. Even Billie Eilish's fans knew that she was in her flop era. But the absolute worst sin of this song is the simple fact that because of the weird way that Billie Eilish sings, the Kids Bop version of the song actually sounds better than the actual song.
I'm not your friend or anything, yeah.
And I realized that because when I was listening to the Kids Bop version, I started to appreciate the melodies in a way that I couldn't with Billie Eilish's version because of her awkward delivery. I realized that this song was decently written melodically, and I only realized it because of the Kids Bop version. I think that says it all to me because Kids Bop sucks. At number 6, we have
Up, then it's up. If it's up,
let me just say this is an improvement from WAP, and it takes me back to her songs Money and Press. Honestly, Money and Press were both repetitive songs, but they were catchy and I appreciated them. WAP represented a big downfall because that song was just not catchy. It relied on controversy instead of actually being a good song, which in my opinion it was not. This song, I would say, is a much better song, but at the same time, it retains the elements of what made her other songs good. Like, the verses are fine, the beat's lackluster, but kind of expected at this point. And the really thing that sets the song, you know, apart is the chorus, which is just the word up. It's one of the most repetitive choruses of all time, and it just brings this otherwise alright song down a lot. It's not like I hate repetition. Repetition can be done well, but when it's so overbearing and so overboard, it really just ruins the song for me. So yeah, at number 5 we have
You don't need no other body.
the reason this song is on here is because for a supposed hit song being in the top 10, I've literally never heard this before. It is not on the top 200 on Spotify or Apple Music. I've never heard this song on the radio. I don't know what's going on here. This song is boring. It has a Justin Bieber remix that no one talked about. Like when Justin Bieber was on Despacito, everyone talked about it. It's the most irrelevant hit song that I've heard since You Ain't Even Know It in 2013, or that Soko song, We Might Be Dead by Tomorrow, that really wasn't a hit. Like, what is this? Right, like I'm legitimately questioning Billboard's formula. I mean, maybe this is a huge song and I'm just not aware. I don't know. But there's gotta be something here. Why have I never heard of this song before? And I check the charts a lot. It's a boring song. It's 4.5 minutes. It doesn't need to be. It just drags on. Some people saying it's Afrobeat. Don't know what that is. I'm not into the song. That's all it is. At number 4 we have Drake, and honestly there were many songs that I could have picked for this spot. We have the awful Right Said Fred sample on
Too sexy for your girl. Too sexy.
It's just cringe, and it's the lead-off single for some reason. And then we have the song
Girls want girls where I'm from, right?
I mean, enough said. I mean, you've all heard the line.
Say that you a lesbian, girl, me too.
It's cringe. It's all over social media. It's not good. But the song I'm putting on this list is neither of those. In fact, it didn't even make his album, despite being this lead hype single.
Let's see what's about to happen next, okay?
And it's making the list because of how underwhelming and just bad it is. The beat sounds like he smashed a video game cabinet from the 80s and it just is broken, and it's displaying all these weird sound, and it's torturizing everyone in the arcade, and they run out of it, and Drake decided to record it and use that audio as the background instrumentation.
Hey. Whoa.
It's not good. It did not have me excited for what was next, so that gets number 4 on this list. At number 3, we have
Fancy like Applebee's.
For whatever reason, this dude thinks that Applebee's is fancy. And look, the first time I'd heard this song on TV was an Applebee's commercial, and I'd heard of the song, I'd heard snippets, but I'd assumed that the clip that they played on TV, he re-recorded the song for an Applebee's commercial. That's what I thought. But it's the original song. Like, it's actually, the studio version is about going to Applebee's like it's fancy. And if Applebee's is fancy to you, then you live a sad, sad life. And he talks about the Barber Street steak.
Applebee's on a date night. Got that Barber Street steak with.
And no joke, when I searched this steak, this was the first thing that I found.
Don't get a bourbon steak from Applebee's. It's like a black licorice tasting steak. It makes no sense. I'm convinced that every one of those I ever cooked was someone trying it for the first time. I remember one time we accidentally cooked an extra one and we offered it to a waitress to eat. She took one bite and immediately spit it out. She kept asking us all night, "What did you guys put on it?" She was convinced that we had put something nasty on it to mess with her. We didn't do anything to it. That's just how bad they were.
So he's going out of his way to advertise horrible food in a horrible song. Yeah, that'll get you number 3 on my list. At number 2, we have a song that should not be a hit. Honestly, a lot of the time I like the songs that go viral on TikTok. I mean, to be fair, I had a song go viral on TikTok, right? To me, it says the bar's low. But honestly, it's a mixed bag, right? It opens the door for all these new undiscovered artists to reach an audience that they never otherwise would have been able to. But unfortunately, a lot of the time, it really is to promote mediocre songs like this. And you know this song is bad when you go to this artist's Spotify and the top 5 songs by this artist are both beatbox, beatbox 2, beatbox 3, beatbox 4, and beatbox 5. It's the same song. It's as clear cut of a one-hit wonder as you can be. The artist has no substance. The song has no substance. The features carry all the work. I mean, this guy just got very, very lucky. He's never gonna have another hit again. It's just a bad, bad song.
Ride around with folk. Call
call me Kobe 24.
And at number 1, I really couldn't decide between 2 songs, both by the same artist. Remember when I said earlier in the video that the Megan Thee Stallion song Cry Baby wouldn't make the list? That is technically true, but the only reason it didn't make the list is because there were 2 other songs by her that were just objectively worse, and I didn't want to have a 3-way tie on this list. So the 2 songs that we're choosing between are and
hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape.
both extremely repetitive songs, and I'm gonna go over my reasons for each. So, Thought Shit. This song is terrible. There was this whole controversy where Black creators refused to create a dance to this song, and it's like the only person you're hurting by doing that is Megan, but whatever. I guess I'm kind of glad because it meant that this awful song didn't get as big as it could have been, because the first time that I heard this chorus, this was the only thing that came to my mind.
Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thigh shape.
Head on, apply directly to the forehead. Head on, apply directly to the forehead. Head on, apply directly to the forehead. Head on, available at Walgreens.
The song is catchy, but it's catchy in the exact same way that this is. And if a pop song is reminding me of that, that's a big problem. The other option that I could choose for the worst hit song of 2021 is Body, which has the most repetitive and worst chorus that you'll ever hear. It's just the word body over and over again, and unlike Up, it has no redeeming qualities whatsoever. It's the lowest of the low when it comes to pop music, and I had to think very carefully to make this decision, but I eventually decided that the worst song of the year was Body. So there you have it. That's my top 10 worst hit songs of 2021, but this video is not over. It's only halfway done because those were the hits. There were songs that weren't hits that were worse. These are the top 10 worst songs overall of 2021. First, here's a few honorable mentions.
What the fuck is that?
This song is on here just because of those awful 15 seconds of clapping, but the rest of the song is fine. Another song with those wavy noises. Stop making this a trend, please. I hate Oliver Tree. I hate everything about him. He was born as a rich kid in California, yet acts like he's this super awkward, unique artist that kind of came from nowhere. Also, his music is trash. This song is super duper repetitive. Like the last minute and a half is only like 2 lines.
Yelling out she wanna fuck with a wolf. I feel like groovy.
It's just a pathetic one-hit wonder trying and failing to get a second hit, and he even has to mention his hit song at the beginning, otherwise you'd forget. It's pathetic and it's sad. It's not terrible, but it's extremely underwhelming, and it's just flopped harder than anyone could have imagined. I didn't put it on this list because I felt bad for Bella Thorne, and she is improving, so good for her. Did not make the bottom 10, I know, shocking, but if this is what funk is, then I can see why it died.
I hate the winter.
You just hear the first 5 seconds of the song, and it's the most disappointing song of 2021. We all expected high things from Lorde, and this song was just not it.
I like a bad boy.
Her goal was to become known by an American audience, and she succeeded, but for all the wrong reasons. You know, she was hoping this song would really blow up for her, that people would love this song, but it's mediocre. And people actually know her name now because of her controversy and because of her blackfishing. So not exactly the relevance that she wanted, but you know, be careful what you wish for, right? This song even flopped in the UK. Now, right before we get to the top 10, we have Lorray canceled.
Let's start off with Bryce Hall. Yeah, he got some smelly balls.
Only reason this song isn't on the list is because it came out of October last year. Otherwise, it's pretty much the worst song ever, but because of technicalities, it's not making this list. But I couldn't go without giving it a shout out. All right, now we're at the top 10. Starting off our top 10 is Soul Train by YBN.
It don't feel like we doing too much.
This song is infamous for being terrible, and I agree that it's terrible, but I don't think it's as bad as other people are saying. That being said, it is obviously awful, and if you know anything about the song, you look at the like to dislike ratio. People hate this thing, and it's easy to see why. Alright, so at number 9 we have Pickle by Nervo featuring Tina Tempe and Paris Hilton. If hating this song makes me a prune, then I'm a prune. I don't care. It's terrible. I don't know, this is probably the most that I've cringed to a song in a while. I only found out about it a week ago, and I'm glad that I was able to go most of the year without hearing this thing. It's just a train wreck.
What the f?
More of a train wreck than the soul train wreck we just talked about, and we still got 8 songs to go, somehow. All right, at number 8, we have Dummies by Tom MacDonald. And look, it's a Tom MacDonald song. Do I need to say more? But if you've somehow avoided him, he is this political rapper. And it's like, 1 to 2 songs about politics, about being, anti-woke or whatever. I can understand that. But this is like the 30th song by him about the same exact thing. He's not breaking new ground. He's just saying the same stuff to the same audience. But this chorus is just obnoxiously awful. Probably the worst chorus he's ever made. Imagine if 6ix9ine was a Trump supporter and talked about liking Trump in every song. That's pretty much Tom MacDonald to me, and that's this song, Are you dumb, stupid, or dumb? Tom MacDonald just takes that and somehow makes it 10 times worse than 6ix9ine.
Dummy like bitch, are you dumb? Are you dumb? Stupid or dumb? Ain't nobody dumber than y'all. Ain't nobody dumber than y'all.
Of course, we also have casual transphobia and all this other stuff.
Say that I'm transphobic if you wanna, but one day I'll be a father, and I really hope my son don't grow up to be my daughter.
I could write a 30-minute analysis about every political point spewed in this song, but I'm not going to. Other people have. That's not the point of this video. At number 7, we have F-Boy by Dixie. A lot of people are wondering why isn't Addison Rae's Obsessed on this list, and the reason it's not is because I don't want her to quit making music because she's just getting so much hate, and she has another song that I want her to eventually release called I Got It Bad, and I feel like if she gets enough hate, she's probably not going to release it, and it's better than her song Obsessed, so we'll see if that goes. When it comes to Dixie, her father is a conservative Senate candidate who named her after a racist word. Like, literally search the word Dixie and you'll find like 20 articles about why the name is so racist, and it's talking about the good deep old South, which refers back to slavery and all of that. So not her fault, obviously, but that's just something that no one ever mentions. Like, the Dixie Chicks changed their name because the word Dixie is so offensive, and Mark D'Amelio out here just casually calls his daughter that. Kind of weird. But this song is on the list because the chorus is just so cringy, so bad, right? Like a 12-year-old could have wrote this. At number 6, we have Mask by Dream.
I wear masks with a smile for hours at a time.
You've probably heard the song. You probably heard how horrible it is. The dude cannot sing. It's only quote-unquote popular because people like his YouTube videos. People talked about the song, the music video, its controversy with mental health and pills and whatever. It's just a bad sounding song, and that's why it's here, right? I don't like bad sounding things. This guy should have never made music. I hope he gets better because this song is just not it. At number 5, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Silento. Dude killed his cousin and he's still making music. He just released an album called Bars Behind Bars. Some of the songs on that album have less views than my own videos. Like, I'm talking 300 views, not 300,000, 300.
How many did you open?
2.
That's easy. 200?
Not 200, just 2.
2? What do you mean you only opened 2?
Pathetic. The dude had one of the biggest songs in the world only 6 years ago. And then he also released a song called Bad, which is just as bad as you would think. And honestly, with that new record, Bars Behind Bars, it's so irrelevant. He could literally hide a confession within the album and no one would hear it. I'm serious. Let me just play a few quote-unquote highlights from the album, just so you can see. The dude thinks that we're still in 2015 musically.
Right now, right now, right now.
Laying on the couch right now.
Professional, I had to let you know. I gotta let you go. No, we can't be more.
Girl, you're a star. Hey.
Let's go. Silent ATL.
You already know it. Yeah.
Luckily, he's not getting any attention for this, and rightfully so. At number 4, we have Cutthroat by Imagine Dragons.
Only one of us gonna make it out alive, and it's not you!
And yes, it is only number 4. That's how awful this year was, because this is one of the worst songs ever made. A lot of people hate Imagine Dragons, and a lot of it's undeserved, but with this song, you can see exactly why people hate it, and I'm right there with them. The way he sings the song is just so awful. I have no idea why he thought it was a good idea. I literally struggled to make it to the end, but once I did, I was relieved to find out that this song got even worse than that awful chorus. I don't know who approved this. I don't know who let this be a single. I guess it's the reason why Imagine Dragons' new album is so irrelevant as it is, and literally no one is talking about it. And number 3, we have Rebecca Black, Friday. And I know what you're thinking, this song is from a decade ago. No, the version of this song I'm putting on the list is a version she released this year for her 10th anniversary of it. And it's a hyperpop remix of Friday. She's trolling people with this, but it's just like, it proved her point, and it sucks because I know she's a talented musician. She's released amazing songs like The Great Divide, but this is just proving the haters right, and I feel like she could do so much better than this. And it's like, what is 303 doing here?
It's 10 years later, now it's 303 on Friday.
What are all these other hyperpop artists doing there?
F-R-I-D-A-Y. Now the weekend's over, let your free flag fly.
This is embarrassing for literally everyone involved. And it's like, she could have used this as a moment to like prove to people she can actually sing. But instead, her vocals are pitched up high, the beat's obnoxious. I like hyperpop, I do, but this is bad hyperpop. This is the kind of hyperpop people hear, and you can see why they don't like hyperpop, right? At number 2, we have the new Friday by Rebecca Black. We have Red Dress by Sarah Brand. Manages to outdo the original, I guess.
See me in a red dress, hopping on the death bed, thinking of love, just like judge in the sky. What are you doing here?
And this song is just bad for being off key. You've probably heard people talk about it. The reason why it's not number 1 when it easily could be is because I get the feeling that this is just some girl who had fun, or she's pulling a psychological experiment and she's taken the hate really good. She hasn't really responded to it. She's happy with the attention. She's still doing her thing. I even asked her if she wanted to collab with me, and she like hearted the comment but never responded. So it's like, if I can get her on a song, that'd be hilarious, and I'd love every second of it. She just seems like, you know, your average college kid. I would feel weird putting this at number 1. Now, to contrast this, my number 1 song is by people who absolutely believe that they're pop stars. And of course, this is the infamous song I'd Rather Die by the Tramp Stamps.
I'd rather die than hook up with another straight white guy.
If you haven't heard this song, it's this beautiful thing that unifies people of all different political spectrums. No matter if you're conservative or Democrat, you hate this song. Either you hate the song for the awful, cringe-worthy I'd rather die than hook up with another straight white guy, despite the fact that one of the singers is literally married to a literal straight white guy. The fact that the song is trying to be so edgy and provocative with its lyrics, but it sounds like a Disney Channel original song made from 2012. It's like, all these girls have industry connections. It doesn't feel authentic, and the lyrics are some of the most cringeworthy things you ever heard. The second lyric feels kind of rapey and gross. I mean, everything you've heard about this, the like to dislike ratio says it all. You know, there's people who've gone into way more depth than I ever have, but yeah, it's awful, and it definitely deserves the worst song of 2021. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. It's Rose Mulet. Please subscribe to me if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Warning, very sad. Why don't I have 1 million subs yet? This isn't fair, give me subs. If you wanted sandwiches, you could have just asked. Or you could subscribe to Rose Mulet's channel. I think I'll take the sandwiches.